In regards to my last video I posted, I have received a lot of comments and also inquiries from investors who were really interested in conversation of getting to up their game when it comes to investing into real estate, particularly in the city of Abuja. And then that brought about the idea of me coming up with this very video to explain particularly how you can go about joint ventures, though this said conversation is more like a byproduct of joint venture when it comes to investing into the city of Abuja. But nevertheless, I know that this video is going to be a game changer for a lot of investors who are interested in a conversation like this and also want to proceed with these kinds of investments. So I hope you stay till the very end to get all of the information and also details I will be sharing as it regards the corporate funding and also the individual funding of projects that is profitable to both the investor and also developers when it comes to investing into the city of Abuja. My name is Alefune David and I'm the real estate broker in the city of Abuja who is committed to bringing you the absolute best of real estate, educating you and also bringing you the most affordable real estate investment opportunities in the city of Abuja. Now, like I mentioned earlier on, this is going to be a very, very educative video for you as an investor. Now, let's get right into it. For the joint venture part of real estate, there are different areas that we can look at it from in terms of owning a land and then giving it to a developer to help you develop and then you share certain percentage. Right, but for this one, this is an entirely different conversation as it has to do with in-depth knowledge and also in-depth understanding of finances as it comes to funding projects in the city of Abuja. Now, the first thing we have to look at is the corporate funding. Right, as the name implies, this is where one or two persons are coming together to pull together a pool of funds, right, and then giving out to a particular developer to get interest, to get the principal investment at a given time, right? These are the three factors that makes up this entire funding. One is the interest, most importantly, the principal sum given to that said developer, and also in a short period of time, right? This is for corporate funding. While for individual funding, this has to do with when one person particularly has the power to pull together the pool of funds and then giving out to the developer to do whatever they want to do with it, particularly to develop projects in the city of Abuja. Right now, I have seen cases repeatedly where developers they have to go into this. Again, I would want to state that this video is a very, very technical video. In fact, I am not supposed to be doing this video, but regardless, this said YouTube channel was created for the purpose of education strictly to investors who are looking to up their game when it comes to investing into real estate, particularly in the city of Abuja. And I am sure one or two of my guys will definitely query me or try to take this shared channel down, but we have to educate our investors regardless of the situation. Right now, a lot of developers, what they do is that they either go for the corporate funding because of the flexibility of the payment structure, or they go for the individual funding also because of the flexibility of the payment structure. Regardless, this is two options that a lot of developers they use in growing their business and scaling when it comes to developing. In fact, some developers even go as far as using personal funds to develop projects, right? And then they begin to get profit and also pay themselves back as they move on with the project that they are currently developing. Regardless, the aim is that they are making profit. But this conversation is solely for investors who want to come together to pull together a group of funds and then hand over to a developer. Or you're an individual who also has a lot of money stored in the bank and then you're wanting to allow that said money work for you, then this is the particular strategy that you can use in growing that said money as the case may be. Right now, let's go over to the major reason why a lot of developers choose to go with these set three options that they have: corporate funding, individual funding, and also using personal funds. The most important reason why a lot of developers they use this strategy in developing estate is because of the commercial banks in Nigeria. As of today, I can tell you that commercial bank, the average commercial bank, because of the regulation given to them by CBN, their interest rate is as high as 15% to 27 or even 30% as of right now. Right now, this may seem as though it is the same metrics that applies to going with the corporate funding or the individual funding. But in real sense, this provides a whole lot more flexibility than this. right? Because they can negotiate the terms of this, but in most cases, the negotiation is very, 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 very tight when they want to collect money from commercial banks. This is the reason why a lot of developers they choose to go with this type of funding instead of going to commercial banks to ask for money or ask for loans, as the case may be. Now, if you are that investor who has this kind of funds laying around, let's say 100 million, 120 million, then I would say this particular conversation is solely meant for you. Or you have a group of friends who you want to come together and then invest strategically into the city of Abuja, then this conversation is also for you. As you can see behind me, there are several locations that you should focus on when it comes to investing into real estate. And this conversation, they are kind of linked together. Because like I've always taught you on this YouTube channel, we are committed to bringing you strategic investment opportunities in the city of Abuja. And this is where you come in as somebody who has bulk funds and also want to up their game in terms of investing into real estate generally in the city of Abuja. Now, like I mentioned, a major reason why the developers they are running to the corporate funding or the individual funding is because of the interest rate that applies. Largely, you can negotiate the corporate funding for 30%, 20%, depending on your conversation with the developer. But like I mentioned, this poses a lot of flexibility for developers than going to commercial banks to even collect money from those said commercial banks. Regardless of the situation, again, this is also still a win-win situation for you as an investor and also for the developers in the city of Abuja, right? And lastly, or what we should look at next is the cash flow, right? This is largely considered a positive cash flow, as the case may be, because you are getting your principal sum, you are getting interest, and also within a short period of time. And I would say that this is one investment that is being overlooked or underlooked by investors who has this kind of funds stuck together and then looking for what to do with it. All right, so this is largely considered positive cash flow because, again, your principal sum, your interest, and also within a short period of time. Now, there are steady conversations that are surrounding this very topic, and one of them is the moratorium. I would just want to introduce it to you. Right. So after giving the developers the money to help invest into certain project and then hoping to get that said money back, there are certain conversations that is needed to come into play, which is the point of the moratorium. Let's say your agreement with the developer is that I am giving you 100 million naira, right? And then you're paying me back 130 million or 120 million as the case may be. Right. For the first 2 months of that very loan, you are giving the developer a moratorium to go and use that said money for something reasonable. And then after the 2 months elapses, the next payment now drops depending on your conversation. It can be, let's say, 10% of your entire money, that is 130 million naira, right? Or the principal sum, and then once it's done paying the principal sum, you can start paying the 30 million naira as the interest. But that is all depending on the kind of conversation you have with the developer. But the most important factor is that this moratorium has to come into play because the money has to be definitely used for something that is going to bring that money back to you as it comes to investing into real estate. Now, this is just the basic introduction of corporate funding or individual funding when it comes to scaling up your business, scaling up your investing ideology when investing into real estate, particularly into the city of Abuja. If you're interested in wanting to go above investing the 1, 2, 3 plots, then this is the conversation that we need to have. You can reach out to me on the number right on your screen to get more information as regards investing into the city of Abuja with this very strategy. My name is Alefune David and I'm the real estate broker in the city of Abuja who is committed to bringing you the absolute best of real estate, educating you, and also bringing you the most affordable real estate investment opportunities in the city of Abuja. I'll see you on our next video session. Until then, stay safe.